that, and make sure we're live before I play the intro. I think we are. We are live, and then we're going to play the intro, and we're not going to talk over it. Look at that, we're such professionals. Why is it grayscale? Oh, it's not grayscale. Oh, wait!
Oh my gosh, we're live.
That's it. You did a deep breath, so I thought you were going to do something.
No.
No? Am I doing something? Okay. Alright, so welcome to episode 6.666666. Welcome to episode 5.5 of the Safe State Podcast. Sorry, I had a title as episode 6, so I thought we would do episode 6, and then Tom was like, no, we're not doing episode 6, it's episode 5.5.
It is. Because we're only half as good when we're live.
Only half as good. I don't know.
But no, we're just as good, if not better, because we can talk to you guys.
Feels short. I feel like I'm like looking up, down.
That better?
Well, you're leaning down now. Now you're just gonna look weird on the camera. You are. Let me just raise, because that's what I had to do last time. I
just raise it.
Well, no, I had to raise my seat last because that seat's taller than this seat, which is why I probably should have just been in that seat.
You said you didn't like this one because it creaks.
I don't like it. There. Now I can actually look at you eye to eye. It doesn't.
Now we're seeing eye to eye.
We are. I got when my seats lean back slightly. I love it. Oh wait. No. So, what have you been up to this last week?
I have been really, really busy with so many things. What have I done that I can talk about on stream? That I want to talk about on stream?
Talk about your existential dread.
I have been having a lot of that lately. Yes.
That we want to talk about?
Sure.
Okay, you go first.
I hate nihilism. You know what nihilism is?
I feel like I should know. That I hate that my first thought was the Prince of Egypt and the Nile River. I watched that movie today. Good movie. That's a really good movie. The Prince of Egypt.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which features the Nile of the Nile of River.
Yes.
No, the River of
Moses.
Nile. Yeah, and it features Moses.
Featuring
It's one of my favorite
actors.
One of my favorite actors. One of my favorite actors.
I liked him better in the Ten Commandments.
Is that a movie?
Yeah. It's the same story.
Oh, yeah. I'm stupid. So I mainly just remember the songs.
Anyway, nihilism.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, no, so nihilism is just the basic idea that nothing matters in life. And I really dislike it.
I feel like nihilism would make more sense. Like null is nothing.
It's just called nihilism.
Is it Nile?
Yeah, it's nihilism.
What, no, like the word Nile have a meaning?
Probably.
Yeah, you're probably right. I guess think null. Well, because I think of null space from Sonic Forces, and I was like, man, what's null? And then
back to Sonic Forces, doesn't it?
Well, then I found out that's actually a word. Null means nothing.
Yeah.
But null space.
Like null and void.
Yeah, no.
Oh my contract.
Null and void, like our contract.
Yep.
But that only applies to my side of it.
No, you broke it, so
How did I break it?
You know exactly what you did.
We've done 7 episodes now, including this one. I had to think about it because I had to remember the half episode.
Has it really been 7? It feels like we've been doing this forever.
Well, I guess 8 if we count the one coming out next week.
That is true.
That's being thrown together. Actually, no, it's not going to be started thrown
cobbled together.
Well, it's not going to start being edited until Saturday, Friday at the earliest. I was told.
Nice.
To be fair, I didn't give it to him until Wednesday.
I was supposed to remind you, but again, I was busy.
Well, honestly, even if I gave it to him on Monday, our Monday like afternoon evening is his Monday night. So I'm like, he's probably not going to. By the time I gave it to him, it's probably the time he would have gotten to it anyways, if he was able to work on it, after work. So it's all good. I'm not all too worried about it, but no, yeah, no, so you want to talk about more about nihilism? I feel bad. I feel like I cut you off.
No, I mean, it's not too. I mean, it's mostly just like I think the idea of nihilism is very pervasive.
It sounds like a belief. Like, is it like a
It kind
belief
of is a
style?
belief for them, like because someone who is nihilist is just someone who thinks that like life has no meaning, and so they're just kind of biding their time until they die.
Okay, so like, this might be kind of bold for me to say. That just sounds like depression.
Depression is very nihilist sometimes.
Like to me, like that, like not to get too deep, but like when I'm dealing with like severe depression,
You just wonder what the point is.
like I feel like that's just be not nihilistic. I've heard the word nihilistic.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it makes me sound like.
It's the same. I don't like it in terms of the school of thought of like a just general what's the word I'm thinking of, philosophy. I hate it as like a philosophical thought,
Yeah.
because like there's a lot like people have written on it, and it's like I feel like it's just all kind of useless. Like it's interesting to think about at a very baseline level, but when you get into it, it's basically just a recipe for sadness. And like
Yeah,
if there is truly no meaning, then why do anything?
exactly.
But like,
That's my philosophy. Like,
you nihilist?
well, sorry. Let me.
Do I have to show you what I do to nihilist?
Let me reiterate that. That is my philosophy. Like when I'm in like a bad mood.
Oh no, yeah. When you're
Like I think that way a lot. Unfortunately, at least I see it as unfortunate. Others may not. And, you know, that's how you want to live. That's fine.
I just think it's one of those pervasive things where it's like you're in that rut, but you're not in it forever.
Yeah.
And I think the thing with nihilism is it's like, yeah, nothing matters until you find that one thing that does. You know? And I feel like nihilism, it just like dedicating yourself to it kind of cuts you off from developing those connections that will bring your life meaning.
Oh yeah.
And so I've made the bold stance to say I don't like nihilism.
No, I think that's fair. Like I think it makes me feel like a bit of a hypocrite because I don't know. I feel like I could be.
Well, and not to say that like you can't. Everyone has moments where they're like, "What's the point of this?" Like there's like the saying,
like I don't like doing something if I feel like I don't.
You don't see
like I do this out of obligation, but like anything else, like I like doing it because like I actually feel like I have a motive to do it. Like it's why like I've never worked in fast food. So generally, like nothing against fast food places. I am a regular to fast food places. However, I know it's not an environment I personally want to work in.
Yeah.
Therefore, I don't want a job there. To the point where I was unemployed for like 4 months. I dealt with it. You know, and I just kept going until I landed the job I'm in now that I really enjoy. Contrary to the fact I'm taking a week off next week, but that's that's different.
Yeah,
it's different.
Totally different.
Yeah. But no,
I took a philosophy class not this last semester, but the semester before it in college. It was very interesting. Have you ever taken any philosophy classes?
Not like scholarly wise, but like I've taken like online classes.
That's fair. Philosophy class is interesting because at least I really like the way my professor handled it, because it was very much, he was not presenting any kind of idea as the right one. It was more just, this is an idea, here you go, do with it what you will. And so the conclusion that I kind of came up with at the end of the class was, it's just like, because it was a philosophy class, but it was an ethics class too, so it was just basically like ethics is a complex issue, and so you just kind of have to take a little bit from everything and like find what fits your situation.
Yeah,
because you're not going to find one all-knowing like set of rules to like fit every scenario. That's basically what I've discovered.
We should have done morality for today's episode topic. Like, not that we planned this, we never plan our intros, but like, man, like I really just want to dive deep into morality now for the next 50 minutes.
Let's do it.
Put the title and the thumbnail. This is why I don't like doing live. It's why I don't like doing live episodes. I try not to bring up the fact that we're doing this live.
Morality and
fetch Wuff Man.
The morality of
fetch Wuff Man.
How about that's the thing of this episode. We talk about our favorite.
What morality is doing fetch Wuff Man?
I think it teaches good morals.
Oh, like towards like lessons, yeah, but like I don't. Okay, pitch it to me. Go for it.
Well, it's basically, so you have fetch. You have Mr. Ruffman,
Yes.
and so he's kind of like, what's the guy from
Chris McLean.
Yes, you read my mind. He's kind of like good Chris McLean.
That's what, I don't see.
If Chris McLean
like,
is
Ruff isn't sadistic.
no, he is kind of.
I think he's more naive.
Yes, he's naive. And
He
he's
doesn't
a little.
think things
He's
through.
only just a slight bit self-centered. Like not to a bad bit, but like
He's definitely self-centered, but not in a bad way, and he's definitely in a way of when it comes to like his show, I feel like this might not happen in a lot of episodes, but I feel like a lot of the episodes, like one of the team's plot is, oh shoot, like I forgot to send you all the package of feathers for your board lesson. Go shoot some board. Oh, it's not that bad.
it's no.
Go
or
to the
it's
board
like,
museum instead. Like a lot of times the show's on the fly,
yeah,
and it's a very
or it's like
Well, I think more.
Wait. I think you're out of frame.
Oh, the camera moved.
Yeah, the camera did move.
No, I'll say I've been routinely checking this whole time.
It's okay.
No, you're out of. I gotta.
It's fine. That should be good.
See, normally I can edit this. This is why I don't like doing these live.
It's okay. But anyways,
But
or I feel like they might give the contestants like oh, go deal with my dirty laundry. I feel like that's been a premise of one of the challenges one time in Fetch with Rough. Should we explain what Fetch is?
I feel like people know what it is.
Do people know what Fetch is?
Like I know what it is.
And I know what it is.
Like Fetch with Buffman, it's a PBS Kids show about this dog who gets a contract for a game show.
Yeah.
And every season I don't know why it is a season. It's a real season. Every season the game show that he does, he has 6 contestants, or was it 8? 6? It's 6.
I think it's 6.
No, yeah, 6 contestants. All are great. That's the lyrics of the theme song. So it is 6.
I love the theme song.
But yeah, 6 contestants for however long the season goes. At the end, they win it's like some special trophy.
They win like the Fetchy of the year or something?
The Fetchy. Yeah, they do the Fetchy at the end of every season.
Yes.
Then you get the Fetchy of the year, and they get like some like vacation. They get like you do get an actual prize. They did get prizes for it.
No, yeah.
Which was neat.
God, that would be a terrible documentary to come out. Like, because I know they're the ones about Nickelodeon that came out like a few years ago at this point. But like, can you imagine like just Fetch with Ruffman? It comes out that it was.
They did like a reunion thing a few years back.
Did they really?
And like from what I've heard, everyone is very positive about the experience.
That's
like
good.
It's been one of those shows like you hear people talk about behind the scenes in a good way.
That's good.
Like PBS, from what I've heard, it's really good about good workplace culture. At least in terms of the production studios. I don't know about like the greater PBS. I'm sure it's all great. The kids side of it's good, but now that's a general premise, and it's just pretty much the kids all in the competition trying to win. Because I think they do get points at the end of each episode.
Yeah, well, they get it in each episode, and that's how they win Fetcher of the Year, because it's like all their points throughout the whole season added up, from what I remember.
But also, I know like there's some seasons where I know like the last season. They all get it because the last season is also an all-star season.
Yeah,
that's what the last season is, the all-star season, because because there's 7 seasons of the show. The 7th season gets 6 of the 6 winners, brings them all back, and they have kind of a twist because the endings were like he finds like his parents, and they stop the evil cat rival company thing. He does his little song at the end. And gets a little tuxedo, and his parents are like a part of like some government agency.
It was fun.
It was. I remember. I always liked that.
But anyways,
they all won like a motorbike or something.
Yeah,
I think that's. I know there's one where they win like bikes.
Well, it's always some sort of like funny. Oh, and they had prizes like every episode too.
Yeah, because I know one was like a dog bowl. God, the 4th season, I think, was all like dog-based items.
So they got better.
I remember one episode they had to make a helmet for some reason, and whoever won that episode got that helmet.
Oh yeah, I remember that
really crazy helmet thing for some reason.
Because they were testing.
I remember it had like feathers.
Yeah.
I can't remember what it was.
Do you remember the episode where they had like the big, like that truck with the big wheels, and they were trying to figure out like a way to save like his grandmother's cake?
Yeah.
I remember that.
Grandma Wolfman.
Yeah.
She was in a lot of episodes. Yeah, Grandma Wolfman. You had
character.
what was the name of his criminal brother? His like twin
It
evil
was like some sort of.
Scratch.
It was some sort of like rough joke where it was like
Yeah, who is?
maybe it was.
There
Bart?
was
I don't know.
not Pep. Chet was the mouse.
That was the chat. Blossom was the
Blossom.
cat.
I want to
Yes.
call Pep. Yeah, because it's Blossom. Chet gets introduced like halfway through the show.
Yeah.
You have
It's
Blossom.
the intern's intern.
That's why Blossom's also an intern.
Yeah.
No, Blossom never talks. Neither of them ever talk. It's only
Mhm.
ever the. You know all the characters in that show, all like the Wuffians.
Oh, voiced by the same guy.
It's all voiced by
Yeah.
him. I didn't know
Forgot
that.
the actor's name, but yeah.
Yeah, he's done other stuff. But
Mhm.
God, that reminds me. You know the PBS show Cyber Chase?
Yes.
There's the freaking
The hacker.
he's voiced by God. I'm forgetting
Christopher Lloyd.
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
He still voices him too.
Yeah. Well, didn't Cyber Chase end?
No, it's still going on.
Is it really still
That
going
show is,
on?
they do like 10 episode seasons
Dang.
like every other year.
Speaking of morality,
Digit just died. His actor
Right,
died.
Gilbert Gottfried. Yes.
Gilbert
yes.
Gottfried. But
He
they
did a
did
few years ago.
2023.
Yeah.
But the show kept going. It's Eric Bosden.
Is he Looney Tunes?
The Looney Tune guy.
Yeah,
The guy who's
that's
like
cool.
the one who's Jimmy Pesto.
Oh, Jim. That's
Pretty
funny.
much he's the guy who's like he's a master of like doing sound
Voices,
alike.
yeah.
It's like it sounds just like Jimmy Pesto's. It
Mhm.
seems like he sounds just like Daffy Duck and Porky Pig, and like literally all of them. He does like I think quite literally all of them.
Yeah.
But no, he also does Digit now. But it's like I think it's similar to Wild Kratts, and we were looking at that before this. Like when they do seasons, they order
They're
like
just kind of sporadic.
yeah, like Wild Kratts does the thing. They're like, here's 50 episodes, and we're spread over like 4 years. It's only on season 7, but the shows are going on for over like 17. Like 2011 was when the show started.
Mm-hmm.
It's like 17 years or so.
That's
Where
crazy.
Cyber Chase, they do the opposite thing. I know they're on like season like 37 because they do like 8 episode seasons, and they just do quick like shoot them out. Like, but they'll order like 4 at a time.
Mhm.
So it's kind of the same thing. They kind of do the Netflix thing, but actually,
Not as crappy.
but they actually pay them for all 4 seasons.
What do we think of the morality of the hacker? Because what is his goal?
So, because the thing he was one of the scientists who created Motherboard.
Really?
Yes,
Huh.
there was I was always
There's a lot of lore.
there's
in
a
that
lot
show.
of lore in Cyber Chase, and I don't have the information on top of my head to be able to explain it all right now.
Mhm.
But the hacker originally, he was it was him and that other scientist guy with the light bulb head that was a recon character.
Yes, I know that guy.
They created Motherboard
Mhm.
to help like one Cyber Chase. The thing is, that hacker he got infected with the virus.
Oh.
He is not the virus.
Really?
The virus is like it's kind of like the darkness,
The dark.
and like he got infected by it, but then later on in the show he just becomes the virus. And he gets full control over it.
Mm-hmm.
And he just like eventually they kind of just
He
drop.
just kind of becomes the embodiment. of it.
Yeah, because you don't need but so much backstory. But
I mean,
No.
it's teaching
'Cause also-
multiplication to kids. Like,
Hacker created Digit.
yes, because he used to be evil.
No, Digit didn't used to be evil. Digit he made it as an assistant for Motherboard.
Oh, I thought he used to be evil.
Oh,
Like he used to be a bad guy.
No.
Oh.
He-
You might be thinking of someone else.
because there was his 2 lackey robots.
Mhm.
Um,
Scratch and ground.
Scratch and Grounder, pretty much.
I don't remember their actual
their names, but Scratch and Grounder. No, okay, wait a minute. Sorry, you're kind of right.
he
So,
was not evil for very long. I know that.
because in the 4th episode, Hacker created Digit. Digit was the 4th, and then Scratch and Grounder were made. Digit was made to like kind of upkeep Motherboard while Hacker wasn't there,
Mhm.
but Digit was also like Hacker's like assistant.
yeah,
He worked with Hacker, but he always had his own like he was an independent being,
Yeah.
pretty much. So when Hacker like started like fully revealed his bad self, because Digit's the one who recruited the 3 kids,
mm-hmm.
because that's in the intro.
Yeah.
Digit, what do you want to say? Abstained, not betrayed, defected from Hacker, like pretty much before Hacker went full evil,
Yeah,
and recruited whoever the kids' names are.
I see.
Sam, Eric, and Laura.
Lore, Laura.
I don't know.
I don't remember.
I literally just pulled 3 random names out my head.
God, it's been too long.
Probably not that far off, at least towards the.
No,
I think one of them.
they're fairly generic.
I think one of the.
I think
2
Sam is right.
I think one of the 2 girls is Sam. I don't think the
Yes.
guy's name's
No.
Sam. I think his name's Matt.
That are like Nate or something.
Matthews. Get it? Matthews.
Anyways, so
But no, yeah,
that's
that's Christopher
interesting.
Lloyd, and he still voiced the. Sometimes Eric Bonson does do the voice nowadays.
Because
Fun
he's
fact.
getting there in age.
Yeah, but Christopher Lloyd, it's funny if you look at the credits. It's just like every other episode they switch pretty much.
That's funny.
Um,
But that's pretty cool that he still does it though.
yeah, and all the kids, I think it's still the original actors, but they're all also those are all up there because that show's been going on since the 90s. I think it's one of the longest. I think it's the long. No, I think Sesame Street probably hasn't been out.
Yeah,
but
Sesame Street's going on for a long time.
That also wasn't. That isn't produced by PBS Kids.
No.
That's Sesame Workshop and whatever it was called before that.
Probably Jim Henson Company.
No, it had a different. It was back when it was still closely tied to Jim Henson Company, but it had its own name because it was the same company that did. It was it was Sesame Street and the other kids show that Jim Henson did. I can't think of.
Between the Lions.
In Between the Lions.
I love that show too.
Yeah, that's one that like I don't remember a lot of because it's kind of like right after like.
The thing that always gets me about our friend Breakfast,
yeah,
his Discord profile picture is the dad lion.
It is,
and it always makes me laugh because I remember when I first friended him, it was like, oh, I know that character from somewhere, and then I looked and it was like, oh, it's the dad from Between the Lions.
The thing with people's icons, I no longer associate them like whatever they are. So like me, like my logo's original.
Yeah,
like it's not based off of anything except for myself. But then like
at this point,
I don't look at yours as like Starry Night. It is Starry Night. I just see that and I think Thomas. Now I see Starry Night at like Barnes and Noble or whatever, like they have like the Lego set. I don't think of you. I think of Starry Night. But when I see just that, same with like his I can't think of other people
profile picture. Yeah,
other people's profile pictures though. I don't see it as like I saw the Blue Shy Guys who for a hot minute as well. But you kind of retired that.
I did.
So
maybe he'll return.
I won't lie, your new profile picture just really throws me off still. Because I just look at him like that. I don't know. To me, your color scheme is blue, whether it's the Shy Guy or this Discord, and that's how, especially my computer screen, I swing. The computer is like a good like 2 arms lengths away from me.
Who's this guy?
Well, all I can see is just the color. So like, and that's just how I read chat. I see the color, like I know who it is. If it's not a color combination I recognize, I read the name. But so I could get through chat quicker.
Yeah.
But no. Anyhow, Cybertrace. Yes. I don't even know.
Morality of Hacker. So that's interesting. I just thought he was like evil. Like I didn't realize his background was that nuanced.
Pretty much, he thought his way was better. That's what it ultimately went down to. Of course, he went down to a bad road. There's a lot of like meaningless lore that goes into it. And it's just, I think they just kind of keep piling onto it over time.
Yeah, well, that show's been going on for so long. It's just kind of like Pokemon.
It's like Doctor Who.
Yeah, that too.
Doctor Who. Mr. Wingadingaling. No, it's not. No, sorry, wait, no, it's Mr. Wingading, not Wingadingaling. I wasn't. I came obsessed with that character for like a week. I loved it.
So far, we've only been talking about PBS kids.
Well, that wasn't the intention. We just because we talked about morality, we just kind of rolled right into
the question of who is an interesting morality in talking about Johnny Bravo.
I was going to talk about Steven Universe because that's one of the ones in the thumbnail.
An interesting one too.
That's the whole show is like
morality.
Yeah, it's like emotion.
Yeah,
point where they make fun of it sometimes. No, honestly, I put that show in there. I haven't watched. I don't think I've watched that show since the final episode. Like the whole time the show was airing, I would rewatch episodes constantly. The moment that show ended,
you haven't gone back.
I haven't. And I want to go back because I want to make a video on that show because it is probably one of my top 3 shows. When I went down and we have a thing at work where we do weekly questions. I put down my top 3 shows, and I put down Steven Universe, Sonic X, and Bob's Burgers.
I thought it was going to be Agatha all along.
No, that's really high up there. But the only thing Agatha all along is like it happened. I loved it. I still love that show, but it's not like a reoccurring.
Yeah, Bob's Burgers is every week at what?
What was it, every day?
Every day. Oh yeah.
Monday through Friday from 4 to 7. Not new episodes, old like reruns, but they do new episodes on Wednesday. So 3 new episodes coming out soon. I think I told you this already. I did. I'm excited. Sorry.
I think we might have mentioned it in the other. No, we probably did.
I think it was before we started recording.
Maybe I can't remember.
If so, edit that out.
Yep.
Right now.
Right now, Denmark.
He's editing that.
He just appears in the chat.
No, going to like Steven Universe, that whole show is morality. In a weird like I'm not in like the knowledge base right now. The fully deconstruct like the morals of the diamonds.
I saw the thing they did with Steven towards the end was interesting, where it was like the always happy kid, and then he wasn't always happy, and then he realized that he was really traumatized.
Oh, in future.
Yeah,
gotcha.
that was always interesting.
I really like how I feel like most shows, and not even like a show like Avatar more than most shows probably touch on it more, especially if you go in the comics. But just in the show itself, like even a show like Avatar that's a bit more realistic doesn't really go into the idea of like this. I don't know how old Aang is, but we'll just say like 12. Because they say he's not a teenager yet. I know that. He's still a kid. So let's just say he's 12. This 12-year-old kid having to save the nation. Like that.
They delve into it a little bit, but not in the same way that Steven Universe did. Because they actually
the whole season of Future is dedicated to like it's just all of the stress overwhelming on him. And then it goes to God, I just had an epiphany by myself. Anyhow, whoa. I have a lot of thoughts now, but not that I want to talk about 3.
I love that.
If I can think about it a little bit, maybe I can delve into a bit. But no, they go to think eventually of Steven, his body, because his gem power started going like out of whack again. It's because he was so used to always have to be like fight or flight.
Yeah.
That like his mind doesn't know how to process it. And how reason why I just had an epiphany is so I've talked about this on stream, so I don't really care if I talk about it here. So like last year, 2024 was a crazy hectic year for me. I was always changing. I never had a moment to stop. And then something I came to realize this year of why like I was still feel really stressed out and overwhelmed, even though I was kind of at a new status quo now for nearly a year now. Is my body has been conditioned for stress and for constantly expecting the next storm. But that next storm's not coming anymore. And that's why I just had that epiphany.
And that's why whenever there's a small storm that comes, it feels like it's a lot.
It feels like a lot.
Even though it's not. So
it's
your
like
body overreacts. I know that feeling very similar. That's something I struggled with for a very good part of my life. But yeah.
I've gotten better with it.
Of course.
But no, I just like bam, like that just
you
hit
made
me.
that connection.
I haven't thought about that I haven't thought about Steven Universe in a long time.
That's why shows like that are really good. Like PBS shows, like they don't get into that depth of like, I mean, unless we want to talk about Arthur, we probably will. But like,
I feel like Arthur and Watergall.
Yeah.
That show gets a lot deeper than people realize.
Yeah.
And then you have Chuck the evil sandwich making guy.
I want to see someone like at a convention cosplay as Chuck the evil sandwich making
guy.
God,
I should do that.
You should do that.
I would do that.
That would be awesome.
I wonder how. I feel that's one of those cosplays that like everyone would recognize,
but like no one would
be
think
willing
about.
to do.
Uh-huh.
No, on that real quick side tangent about convention. So I went to a local convention. Yeah. I can't say the name of it.
Yeah,
but
don't say it.
It's the name of a city.
Yeah.
But I went to a local convention.
It was an anime convention.
Yeah, it was a local anime convention. It's like a $10, like literally it was shoved in a hotel.
Yeah.
But no, so I went there and it was just fun to do for a day. But I put on my Eggman outfit that most of y'all follow me, you've probably seen somewhere
on the couch over there.
It's on the couch right now, but it's buried under stuff, so I'm not gonna grab it. But you know, I've had that. So I was like, I literally just threw it on, throw in a black t-shirt, black pants. Actually, no, I did get the bald cap and the goggles. I did go all out with it, but it's a very simple costume. You throw on the jacket, pull on the bald cap, pull on goggles. You're good. But no, I went in. I'm like we've been wearing the outfit most times I've worn it probably, and like maybe like one or two people come up to us, or like maybe like when we went to see the Sonic movies, obviously we got a lot of
little
attention.
bit more, yeah.
But like that's more like expected. But just like I know we've been there. Like I think one time we went to McDonald's to get food. I think like two people.
I do remember.
Like two people.
That was before we saw them.
The second movie.
That was the second movie because it wasn't the first.
Yeah, I think third. I think we had one person recognize in the McDonald's, and no lady just asked us. No, a lady recognized you because you were classic Robotnik. That was funny. I don't know if you remember that. I remember that.
I feel like she didn't recognize me as Robotnik.
She claimed she recognized you, but then she looked at me and Lucas, and then no, she recognized Lucas because she was like, "You're Jim Carrey."
Oh yeah.
She didn't recognize us too
because we were
the game ones. That's what it was. But anyhow, no. So like I've never gotten that much attention from it, but like a decent amount. I don't think everything's going to beat the Mario cosplays. Oh, no. Everywhere we went, people were like
because it's Mario.
We almost didn't make it to our movie on time because of that. I'll tell that one quick too, because now I'm on it. No, we were at our local Regal Theater, which is actually no longer
Oh
there.
yeah, people wanted to take pictures.
So, and they had this huge Mario poster. I think it was of Donkey Kong. And so we were doing it, and we were like, our theater was right behind us. It was the main theater of the greater theater.
Yeah.
But we're going, and you hear like the ads play. They're like, "Don't worry, we'll make sure you get in," because the staff want us to do photos. There's a ton of people. They're like, "Sure." We kept taking photos, and all of a sudden, like, I remember like you like heard like the roller coaster.
That was
Regal.
yeah, I do.
I remember I heard that, and
You're
then
like,
I was
sorry,
like,
guys, we gotta go.
well, we had more people kept coming up, and eventually it was one of the I think it was the manager actually. He came up. He's like, "Okay, like we gotta let y'all in, so y'all don't miss your movie."
Yeah, that was fun.
So, I think we came.
I really like that we do the cosplays.
It's so fun. There's honestly like maybe when Avengers Doomsday comes out, maybe we'll do. I haven't done. Mainly kept with. We've only ever done it.
I've only done gaming stuff.
Yeah, we've done it 3 times: Mario and 2 Sonic movies. But I wouldn't mind doing it. I may not just like, oh, we're going to go see Dogman. Like, but I wouldn't mind doing. I've been getting more into cosplays. And I want to do it more often. I think
we definitely got to think of one for
too many games.
But I think we have it. We gotta do the word for one.
Oh,
that'd be so funny. Can you imagine?
Are you gonna be Captain Huggy Face? Oh, so we're gonna see Captain Huggy Face.
God, that'd be so funny. No, I got because I have the lab coat.
That's true.
That'd be so fun.
I was saying for too many games. This is way off topic at this point, but
I mean,
like I'll probably do my Eggman outfit one day, just because I'm really proud of that one.
Yeah.
That's also one I probably would. No, I probably will wear the full outfit, and I can always. Cause that's one I can always take off and put in my bag. So probably Saturday. That's when I'll wear that, unless I come up with a cosplay that's like really lightweight.
Yeah.
Friday we probably won't do anything.
We'll see. I always have my Mandalorian helmet, but I don't know if I'm gonna take it or not.
Or that, and why you want to bring back your jailed one? That's a very that
one is pretty.
That one's just you throw on the jacket and the bald cap, isn't it?
Yeah, I might have to get a haircut before then because my hair's really long.
I've noticed that. Like I think it was the last time we went to get home. I mean, his hair's like
I've been growing it out.
Waves.
Yeah.
But go back to the Eggman one. I was at this local convention.
Oh yeah.
And almost like every other like minute, every 2 or 3 minutes, I had people asking for photos. I had people. There was a lot of people in costume. Probably about 50-50 split, like most cons I've been to. And I'm just like, what in the world? like I wasn't against it, but like I was with my brother and his fiance, and I was like, no, we're not gonna get a lot, and they didn't care. But I told them like, we won't get a lot of attention, and like they didn't get that much, but like constantly, like to the point where there was one point like they just kind of like kept walking. I'm like, that's fine, I don't care.
Yeah.
But like we were sitting there, there was a little kid who kept looking at me, and eventually I just did like a quick little like wave to him. So I'm like, I don't like going up to kids myself, especially if I'm not like hired. Like I've done Santa Claus and Easter Bunny. That's a bit different. Like if you'll come into this this environment, Santa's gonna walk up to you. You know, like parents should expect it. If you don't, then
but if you're at like conventions, like
like I don't want to like it's or like a movie theater. Like I don't want to. But like I just did a little wave. All of a sudden the kid just started in a good way going off at me. I don't know why I can't think of a better way to word that right now. But like he started talking to me like super excited, and the mom came over. I was like, please don't be upset, because that's always like I don't want to upset the parents. I always want everyone to have a good and positive time,
not be freaked out.
Yeah, that's why like I never like, especially like this random
big man,
mid-20s man coming up to you, be like ho ho ho. Like I didn't even play the kid. I just said hey, just try to be real chillax with them. When the mom came, I was like, oh my goodness, like can we take photos? And then like another family came over. Because while I was standing, there was no booth either. There was a booth there. They always took it down because it was like near the end of the con.
Yeah.
So I was standing there to be off to the side. And, I mean, people just kept coming. I was just like, there's only an hour left in the con, and I haven't been half the booths. And I want to go to this booth with all the cool swords. But I'm also like, I'm really enjoying this. So like, but it was like, I'm like, I almost feel like it's something like I should do. Like, I don't not that like I want to do for like monetary reasons, but like. Maybe going to a con, and maybe if I also got like kind of stepped up my cosplay game a bit more, to be a bit more. I really like that outfit. I probably wouldn't change that part of the jacket itself, but maybe like get like pants, like get like the full like actual like boots and all that to make it fully look like it. And like a con pays me like X amount of money to be there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to charge. I would feel comfortable charging people for
Just
photos.
to be there.
But,
Just
like,
kind of like how the other guy who does the classic Robotnik stuff, but you know him.
yeah,
He was at a few of the.
he's been a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
now.
he goes to a lot of things because he's partnered with Sega.
Yeah, no, but no, that was a lot of fun. I like doing the cosplays. That's the episode topic we should probably do one day.
Cosplays.
Yeah, I
That'd be
feel like we have
interesting.
enough. Like
I we do a few more.
I knew I just rolled off a couple stories, but we couldn't. I just talk about stories of making the cosplays, and then there's a lot more stories I know. At least I have that I could tell. I'm sure you have some too, but no. I don't remember why we. Oh, to talk about Chuck the Evil sandwich making guy. That's why.
I don't know
That's
how we
why.
got onto this from Chuck, but
Well, because we talk about cosplay.
we should have put him in the thumbnail.
We should have put.
No one probably. I really do wonder how many people know about like
More
Word
than-
Girl. Probably more than I think.
Because remember,
but
it was like 2022. It like blew up, and like clips were getting posted all over
yeah,
the place.
it was.
'Cause that's-
it became like more of a meme and stuff.
Yeah, was this that show? Like I said, it has a lot of lore. Like Doctor Two Brains,
It does have a lot of.
Doctor
He used to be
Two,
a good guy.
he used to work with Oracle.
Yeah,
They were like partners, and then he went. He got the second brain. He got two brains.
he's voiced by Tom Kennedy.
He is voiced by Tom Kennedy.
It's probably one of my favorite Tom
Is
Kennedy
it-
roles. Not gonna lie.
Evil sandwich making guy. Chuck is voiced by another. That show. PBS in general gets a lot of popular actors. Like the Crap Bros.
Crap Bros.
The Crap Bros.
The Crap Brothers.
The Crappers. You know, assuming their personality is similar to how it is on TV, I feel that's a joke they would make.
You never know.
You never know.
I feel like they've been doing that for so many years,
Yeah.
especially with Zaboomafoo.
Zaboomafoo, yeah. I'm in a giant egg. It's all gooey in here. I still got my pizza. No one knows of that. No, I
No,
feel like that's a deep cut.
That's no, because no one knows what Zaboomafoo is unless they watch the Odd Ones Out freaking video where he talks about old.
yeah. Actually,
cartoon
never mind.
shows.
That's why I learned about Zaboomafoo.
I
Never
knew
mind.
a little bit about it before, but that was like kind of my reintroduction to it.
Sounds like 90s.
Because my siblings both grew up on PBS, and my siblings are obviously older than me, so like I kind of got exposure of that through them. That's
Yeah.
what, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
Yeah.
That's like because I never saw that show. I saw
I
the.
loved Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood.
I always saw the remake that or not remake spin-off thing, the Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood.
Oh, see, that was like after my time.
Yeah, that was right in time for me, and
Yeah.
that's what I grew up with, and I like that show.
I watched a few episodes, but I was
It's very much for a younger demographic because I
Yeah.
feel like anyone could watch Mr. Rogers and like kind of
I
appreciate
miss-
it.
I did this leadership training thing recently,
Mm-hmm.
and they used Mr. Rogers like multiple times,
Oh,
and I
that's
loved
cute.
it. They also used Remember the Titans, but like
It's so
the-
random.
well, to explain they use clips from it to explain team building.
Yeah,
You know, like the
that makes sense.
Foreman, Storman,
Forming, storming, norming, performing.
Norman perform. I couldn't remember Norman.
Yeah.
Norman performing. They show and like that movie shows it pretty
Yeah.
well. And it's also a movie everyone likes. So it's like,
Yeah.
hey, like we're gonna use this thing. And actually, someone at we all had our own little tables. Some of my table have never even heard of the film.
Remember the Titans?
Yeah,
I haven't even seen it, but I know what it is.
yeah. It's such. I'm not. And I love I like dramas and thrillers that are like based off of like real life. Like
Did you ever
Like
see the hockey one? Where it was
gotta be
like-
more specific than that.
well, it was also by Disney, and it was kind of similar to Remember the Titans in that sense, but it was about the hockey team going up against in the I think it was Olympics.
Probably
I
not.
forgot what that one's called, but
For some reason, my mic's thinking. I keep thinking of Airbud.
Glory Road. I can't remember what it's called, but it's basically same plot. Basically, it's forming a team that everyone hates the coach. Then they're like, "Wait, the coach is just trying to prepare us," and then they go and then they like fail once, and then they're like,
Well,
"You
remember
really do suck," and then they
the Titans is a lot more that it's not really. It's less them hating the coach. It's more racism.
no, yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to think of a way to put it lightly, but like I can't wait to put that lightly.
yeah.
No. Some reason my mind when you kept explaining hockey, I kept thinking of all the Airbud spin-offs.
Yeah.
I watched a
Oh,
video
Airbud.
that was like a 40-minute video about the lore of Airbud. Because that's where those puppy movies that Disney made.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the
fu-
buddies.
The buddies.
Yeah.
That's spun off from Airbud.
Yeah.
That's Airbud's children.
Yeah.
I did not know that. Also, you know, like after the first two movies, two of the puppies are just never brought up again. Like it goes
It's
from
so
like
funny.
it goes from 7 to 5 of them.
Oh God,
Two of them just get written off.
they're just gone.
Yeah.
They died.
Well, one of the second movie, I forget exactly. It's a space one. It ends with them like stuck on the moon, and the next one there's like a throwaway line about it. Like we made it off. There's like
Most of us.
there's 5 of them. There used to be 7 who got left on the moon. One of them was the fat one, so I think I know where they got the food from. Oh,
where
my
were we?
Checking the time.
Mm-hmm. So,
What was the other show I put in the thumbnail? We went
Oh, you did Sonic,
Sonic X.
and then we have Martha Speaks, but we can save the best for last.
You gotta talk about Martha Speaks.
I just like Martha. That was legit. I don't know, because I like Fetch, but Fetch was not.
Martha, I always
shown.
looked forward to.
I really like.
I never knew that was one of the shows I didn't realize there was an educational aspect to it.
Mm-hmm. Because it's kind of like Word Girl in the same sense, because it's about like talking and like English skills. So it's like you can kind of fit that in without it being too obtrusive.
Remember the courtroom episode
of
Martha Speaks?
Oh, with the traffic light?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
Well, it's like, how would he know if it was a green light or red light?
Because dogs are
colorblind.
And then
I remember
Martha's like, well, the red one is at the top and the green is at the bottom.
Well,
and that was like,
I remember like when because like she did get put in jail for like overnight, and that's why they had the ad break. I'm gonna say 'cause they didn't do ad breaks on PBS, but like they did a little like bumpers or whatever.
Yeah.
And then I remember sitting there and being like, going to my mom. I'm like, Mom, like Martha is in jail. She can speak. Just peeked I probably just peeked both on mics there.
Yeah.
Probably
did.
It's fine. It's fine. I'm getting better. I hope I'm getting better. I haven't been looking at audio.
Have
Have you been looking at audio?
Sometimes.
Has it been better?
Yeah, it's been better.
I've been consciously trying to speak lower.
Yeah.
I probably won't do this on streams because my microphone is attuned perfectly for my voice. But here these are a lot more difficult to tune. But it's why it's right by Tails.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, no, Martha's great. I feel like that show is like, I love that the humor of that.
Were there
show.
any bad guys on that show?
Like, they had the reoccurring like the two like criminal bad guys.
That's why.
Yeah.
Like there was like
they had a lot of reoccurring characters who would come back, but like in terms of bad guys, those were the only ones because they were all constantly trying to steal Martha. They were like basically like Team Rocket, but for PBS kids.
There was I remember there was the soup special when they went to the soup factory. And they had to save the soup.
Yeah, Granny Smith soup.
Yeah, the grandma.
Yeah, and the lady who runs the soup factories actually was kind of evil.
Yeah,
it's kind of like Mr. Burns actually.
It wasn't like they weren't putting certain letters in the soup.
Yeah, and she was losing her ability to speak.
They took the vowels out.
Yeah,
that's what it was. So she couldn't.
Yes,
that's what it was.
God, that show is so good.
It was good. I'm not sure that's even better. Sonic X.
Sonic X.
I don't even really like honestly Sonic X. I don't want to talk much about the show itself, but more just like the memories I had with it. Like that was my Saturday morning show.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, actually, my fourth Saturday morning show was I want to know Sonic at AM, Sonic the Hedgehog, the one with Sally Acorn and all that. Just hit the button. Oh, good. I was scared the camera's gonna shift. I think that's why I shifted last time because I keep bumping into that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I can't stay still.
No, you gotta move.
I feel like one day you're just gonna like grab and like stop moving.
I'm just gonna put my hand on your chair.
Yeah, so I'm just.
Anyway, Sonic.
Sonic Sonic X. No, Sonic X. I would wake up like I was around that. That's gonna. It's gotta make a conscious effort to not. Other than that show, I didn't do it as much because I was scared of it creaking. But this show, I don't care. Anyhow, no, like I remember like when season 3 premiered for that show. Mm-hmm. That show started in 2005. So like I was only 2 years old by then. Time season 3 came out was like 2008, 2009, 10, and I was old enough to have memories. I remember waking up, watching like the Sonic Adventure adaptations, the baseball episode where they all decide they're like, "Oh, we have a Chaos Emerald. Let's play baseball." And then Eggman wins, and Sonic just takes the Chaos Emerald anyways because he's a jerk in that. I love how much of a jerk Sonic is in that show.
You gotta have what's his face? Chris Thorndike. He's
Thorndike.
got to be the good one who's like, Sonic, you can't do that.
He doesn't even do that. So they just let Sonic do what he wants.
No, I don't-
Sonic's just a cat. They call him a cat, which is a funny thing. He acts like a cat, especially in the first couple episodes. A lot of times he's like laying down on like a couch or like on the roof until like the last 3 minutes. Like, oh, I guess it's time for me to go and be Goku, and it's maybe like Dragon Ball that way. Like, oh, Goku needs to come save the day. But they did, I think once he had to like adapt eventually, like Sonic has to be part of the plot. I think it got better. I think that was the biggest thing with me is like after the first few episodes, it's kind of like meandering. And then you had a time where Chris stole Sonic when the 2 dimensions were merging because he's like, but I don't want to lose Sonic. So he threatens the entire 2 universes merging into one, just so he can be friends with Sonic. And Sonic just kind of lets him do it. Because Sonic's just like, he needs to go through this. I'm just like, you know what, like...
Well, how does that show end with, like...
So Season 2, which was going to be the end, it ends with eventually... So it's... Season 2 starts with, like, Angel Island suddenly on Earth.
Yeah.
Like, all the flickies and, like, stuff just starts coming to Earth. And it's like I know, like, Eggman Space, like, more just of, like, the White House. And, like, that's like the whole thing, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. That's why the Chaotix finally joined the show and stuff like that. And Season 2, then you have the adventure adaptation, and then you have like Sonic Battle gets adapted, some other stuff. Sonic Adventure 2, and the last batch of episodes of Season 2 is kind of more them like stuff like really starting to go down.
Yeah.
And eventually they figure out a way to get everyone back to the home dimension. And so everyone. It's them working together. I think Eggman helps them. They all go over. Chris steals Sonic for an episode, as like literally like the worlds are like it's like almost like so it's really like Technicolor, like everything's all like wavy, like everything's almost kind of dreamlike. It's like literally it's like everything's falling.
It's almost
apart.
like they casted a dream.
Chris was in a coma the whole time, but no. Eventually it ends with like Sonic being like, Chris, like, you gotta live your life, bud. And it's a nice little moment that 4Kids ruins, but it's fine. And then Sonic goes home, and then we get like a little time skip where Chris is like freaking like 25 or whatever now, and he's working on like he's now a scientist. He's trying to see if he can find a way to get back to Sonic's world. So he never really like go for his obsession, but they kind of made like a nice like happy ending. And then Sonic finds out doing whatever. Season 3, that starts with ever since Sonic came back, he's just been off with all the Chaos Emeralds, being super in space, fighting off the Medox for like it's implied to be a year.
Into it.
I won't get deep into the Medox saga because there's way too much there. It's a 52 episode season, which is how long season 1 and 2 were combined. So I will not get into it. This was a season 4Kids ordered. 4Kids. Actually, that season in aired in Japan, I think like 2023. It was just made 4Kids especially bought it, paid for it, ordered it. That's a word. Yes. But Sonic, the Medox guy's like, oh, give me the Chaos Emeralds. And Sonic's like, what if I just spread them out across the universe? And then that's where we get the great moment where Sonic comes down, and Uncle's like, we got the Chaos Emeralds, right? It's like, I threw them away. It's like, are you crazy?
I remember that one.
And then the Medox, Doc Oak, that's his name, who is voiced by the same guy who voices Professor Oak in the original Pokemon anime seasons, which is really funny. But no. Then he blows up the planet, and some of them escape. We never see Vanilla again, so like she might be dead. There was kind of whole like time thing that they kind of everything's happy by the end of the season. But Chris finds a way back to their planet. But I forget how they explain, but pretty much in Sonic's world, it's only been a year. In his world, it's been like 20 years. So he has the mind of like a 30-year-old, but he's in a 12-year-old's body again, like the body he had in the original show, original seasons. But now he's like actually competent. Pretty much that was how they like rewrote his character to be more not annoying,
not stupid.
Then the end of season 3, Eggman, something solstice. He's like, we launch this rocket into space at just the right time. You'll go through the Swift back to your home planet. He said, but you have to do it now. You'll be trapped here for a century. because I guess the worlds are like the barrier between dimensions is really weak once a century. I forget the reasoning, but so he does that. Chris leaves. Um, Sonic now is able to like talk to Dark Oak through his mind. Somehow it's like a seed of Dark Oak got into Sonic, but it's more just kind of like now like Sonic's becoming evil. Just more Sonic's just like I got voices in my head. um,
Me too, buddy.
yeah, like and that's how because there was going to be a fourth season. Well, it's kind of weird. They never ordered one, but they made a trailer for a fourth season that you could find, and it was like, oh, like because Shadow dies at the end of the third season again.
Yeah.
And they have a thing like, is Shadow going to come back? And they just reused clips like season 2 and 1 to make a trailer for new episodes, but there was never new episodes. But that was like how the show ended. Chris formally went back. Sonic had voices in his head. Tails' girlfriend died. I didn't even talk about Cosmo. Eggman and Rouge have a talk.
I remember that.
Yeah. No, but Sonic, that was my
Look
style.
up Eggman Rouge ending of
Sonic X. I think it's like episode 76.
You look it up. We won't talk about it, but you should
look up the Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese version, specifically that one.
But no, that was a show. I remember waking up the morning when the Meadow X saga started, watching those episodes. I remember waking up my first time watching like the Perfect Chaos fight and like the Bio Lizard fight, and like that was like one of those shows. Like as a kid, like I was like I don't care if we have to go somewhere. We'll wait at the door.
Watch Sonic again.
Yeah, and like in the moment freaking like Cubics would start.
I never would have.
Oh yeah. And the moment any other show on the Fox box would start, I would immediately, because by the time I was watching, they stopped airing Kirby Right Back at You. That was a show I discovered through the wonderful world of pirating on YouTube before YouTube really knocked down on that. Like I thought I had a text message. I have something I gotta do in an hour, so I'm making sure that I'm watching the time. But sorry, I thought I heard Fox.
Oh,
Never mind. Anyhow, I think it was my chair creaking. It's probably a chair
think it was
creaking.
the room creaking too.
That's just from under the immense pressure of the Meadow X saga.
Yes.
One day I'm gonna make like a 2-hour documentary about
the Meadow X.
About the Meadow X saga. But no, I feel that's about it.
No, yeah, I think it's interesting to see what TV shows and things that people grew up in general that kind of put you into the person that you are today.
Yeah, like for me, it was a lot of Cartoon Network. I remember going Cartoon Network regular show, the Misadventures of Flapjack, about Steven Universe Adventure Time, Infinity Train was a bit later, but still kind of like young, like teenage years. Trying to think of Amazing World of Gumball. I agree with some Nickelodeon too, but like it was me like I watched SpongeBob, and that was I did I loved Fairly Odd Parents, and I also watched this is on Teen Nick. Shoot, the robot, the show about the robot, the female robot, Jenny.
Oh, yeah.
What's the name of that show?
I don't know what it's called.
My life is a teenage robot. Yes. God, I'm like I love that show so much. Created by Rob Winsetti.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He worked on Gravity Falls.
He did. A lot of people worked on Gravity Falls.
No, yeah, a lot of people did, but I specifically remember his name.
No, that was a show. That is a show I feel like it slept on a lot. Like that was I went.
That's a good one.
I went back to it and I was really shocked how much I enjoyed it watching through it again. And it's a very short watch. Like it's one of the it's still that era, like there's continuity, but there's not like a storyline.
It's not too tied together.
Yeah, like they'll follow up, like if there was like a bad guy that got introduced in an episode and they come back again, it's now like reintroduced to them. Kind of like a show like Powerpuff Girls. There wasn't a plot line, but you had lore, I guess. The only time they went with them, they did a movie, a DVD movie, Escape from Cluster Prime, which is like where all the bad robots came from. They had like a whole special there. That was a fun one. But what was I don't remember. I feel like there was something about the special I want to say and I can't remember now. I watched a show in a hot minute, but no, that brought up Johnny Bravo earlier. Johnny Bravo is that's a show I didn't watch a lot as a kid. It's like more 90s. But that's a show I've been rediscovering recently. That's been a lot of fun. I'm trying to think of like Well, I guess you didn't really watch Cartoon Network growing up, so you remember Cartoon Fridays. That's like what they called anything that wasn't like because it's mainly back when Cartoon Network still had a lot of like Hanna Barbera and stuff like that.
Like classic Cartoon Fridays.
Well, no, so they anything that was like original was called Cartoon.
Oh.
So on Cartoon Fridays was when new episodes of like
I
Dexter's
see.
Laboratory, Cow and Chicken, Johnny Bravo, Powerpuff, of course, you know. And they
Mhm.
kind of stopped doing that around like 2008, around the time like Flapjack and right before C and Wheel.
Yeah.
We don't talk about C and Wheel. That was a dark time. Though I really did like the Soy Build the Story. That was a fun show. But it's like, okay, our channel's called Cartoon Network. We'll only go show cartoons for 3 hours of the day. And they only had like 4 live action shows, and they did not have a lot of episodes to show, so it would be like the same episodes over and over again.
Yeah.
No, the Soy Build the Story was really good because it was like they destroyed a bunch of cars, they had to build a mech out of it, and then whoever lost, their thing got destroyed. And it's just filmed in like a massive junkyard. That was a fun show.
It's definitely interesting.
No,
I was definitely the token. I didn't grow up with cable kid. If you couldn't figure that out already, but
Yeah.
I think I caught enough of everything else to like stay in the loop. But I certainly wasn't.
Yeah, well, because you didn't watch Gravity Falls so after it ended.
No, yeah, it was the same thing with Avatar.
Yeah,
The Last Airbender. Yeah, but I got it.
yeah.
I
think I played the Avatar games growing up. I never watched the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I knew about stuff like.
Oh yeah, well I had to convince you to watch it.
Oh yeah.
And then you watched it over the period of like 2 years or something.
Well, I watched season 1 over the course of like 2 years, and the rest of the show because I watched season.
Well, once you got to
season 2, I watched probably in about 3 months.
No.
Season 3, I think I watched in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Probably like 2 months. Core, I think I watched in 2 weeks.
Yeah. You were
I love Core. I adamantly defend the Legend of Korra. Still haven't seen the last 2 episodes, but I will adamantly defend that show. Even if the last 2 episodes aren't that good, which I have a feeling they're not. But the West Side show is so solid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just, especially if you're a fan of the first show.
It's something that I am gonna check out for better or worse at some point.
I think at worst people are gonna think like. At least I think your thing's like just okay.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you get so much of it from being an Avatar fan.
Yeah.
Especially in I tell a lot of people just watch the 4th season if you're an Avatar fan, but like there was like Toph, the Toph is in season 3, and she plays a huge role in that season. The Earth Nation as a whole does. And you get like the evil. You get to see like what if a bad guy had airbending powers, and that's really sick. Like everyone's seen the clip of the guy sucking the air out of the freaking king of the Earth. Like that's so sick. Like, what if Aang was evil? And I like how it gets inside the spirit realm and all that. But so I go on about Korra for a while. I know part of me wants to go on, but I'm holding myself back so we don't go too far over time.
Yeah.
But no, that's another. And we're getting
Avatar movie.
We're getting the Legend of Aang movie, which got pushed back.
And we're getting a new
Seven
season
Havens.
of. Getting a new season of Amazing World of Gumball.
We're getting 2 new seasons.
Yeah.
We're getting Seven Havens. That's the next Avatar series.
Oh.
Which is the Earthbender and the Cyberpunk.
Oh, that's cool.
That's supposed to be next year.
Mm.
And then the movie's now 2027. That got pushed back. But we did get the logo.
I mean, it looks like an Avatar logo. It doesn't look that crazy.
It reminds me of the Korra logo.
Yeah.
It's the Legend of Aang. I wonder if that's going to be CGI. We do not know if it's 2D or CGI.
Why would you even put that out in the universe?
Because it's going to be a theatrical movie. I want it to be 2D.
Why would you put that out? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for ruining my day, Joe.
You're welcome. So don't play my Game Gear.
But no, I think it's funny that all the classic cartoons are coming back now. Because nostalgia.
Nostalgia, yeah.
It really is just nostalgia.
It's been like this for like 7 years now. It's like Invader Zim came back, and Walker's Modern Life, those came back in like 2020, 2021. The shows were great. I can't
wait for the Gravity Falls remake.
Oh god. Like, is it bad?
Live action.
Is it bad to say that I would actually be interested to see a live action remake of Gravity Falls? I feel like
you could do a lot worse. My
that
thing
show
is,
is more grounded than most.
yes, and if they like creating like the weird stuff, if they use like practical effects and like
Practical
made it look as real as
and
they
really
possibly
good
could,
CGI,
and like try like just did a straight up
like
new
there's like
mystery,
PG-13,
yeah,
like kind of like let
that'd
them.
be cool.
All right, Disney, do it.
Get on that.
Let-
They're never gonna win.
Let's hope. God, Lilo and Stitch comes out this tomorrow.
I know.
Well, it's out today, I guess, but from what I've heard, reviewers are really liking it. Apparently, which I'm kind of shocked on, because reviewers have also been bashing the live action movies, including like Mufasa. So I'm not going to see the movies. I've never seen. I only ever watched the show, and I always thought the show was just all white.
The movie's pretty good.
I've
should
heard good
watch
things
the
about-
first movie.
I've seen everything but the first movie.
You should watch it because it is good.
Yeah, but it doesn't help that I see close to like the live action movie, and I'm just like, I'm still not interested. I think I've just been overexposed with Stitch merchandise and stuff. I'm just like, I don't think Stitch is that cute, guys. I've never been I'll say it. I don't think pugs are cute. I don't like the whole ugly cute thing. I never liked it. I'm not saying we should make fun of pugs for it, but I don't think pugs are cute. I think they are ugly, and that's okay. They have cute souls.
Are you referencing something?
No, this is my
Oh,
genuine thought.
Okay, you were saying it like you were referencing someone
No.
who said like pugs weren't cute.
No, like that's fine. Like pugs can be, it's fine if they're ugly physically.
How do you feel about the Sphinx cats? Like the hairless cats?
Oh, then that's gross too.
Hmm.
I'm very superficial. I'm not gonna act like I'm not. But like I'm not gonna. But I'm not gonna treat someone differently because of that.
I think we're over time, Joe.
Like I wouldn't call someone ugly to the face. Generally. See, that's why legitimately I think that's why people like me, because I am very honest.
You're not mean.
I'm not mean.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna tell you how it is. Like if you ask me, do I look pretty? If I don't think you look pretty, I'll tell.
I look pretty?
I think you look all white today. Genuinely, I think your hair's a little messy. It's kind of bothering me. But like in terms of like your face and everything, you look pretty good.
Thanks.
So me, I just want to like comb over that hair. I'm also not a big fan of just like the more like. I don't think you look bad. I'm just not a fan of like the wavy hair.
Well,
look.
it's new.
Yeah, but no, like I've had my mom before because I've gone clothes shopping with her, and she's like, she always likes me because I will tell her if I think that outfit looks trash, because it does. I am very blunt. She's like, oh, what do you think of this paint color? Like, that's horrible. I hate that. I am very black and white when it comes to my opinions. It's very hard for me to be.
I
in
know.
the middle. Yeah.
That's why I'm really happy when I impress you.
Yeah.
Because you're hard to impress.
I am very like for me to be genuinely impressed. It's really hard. It's why sometimes if I'm in the middle, I feel like it's hard for me to convey like I like something, but like
you have things to say about it.
I have things to say about it, but I still like it because I feel like I do come off very negative still. Like when we were talking about, I won't say it on here, but that episode idea when we were in the car, I did genuinely like the idea. I just had some issues with it, but as a whole, like I felt like I didn't want to come off as like me shutting you down.
Yeah.
I was like, I feel like I need some work, but I struggle with that gray area.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I'm playing my game now. I'm freaking take it out of my hands.
Anyways,
okay.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Yep. Thank you for watching. Next week's episode is.
This episode has no topic.
Oh, jeez. I want to be
get ready for
I want to be past that episode.
Get ready for a fun episode.
This episode was way this was so smooth. I feel maybe this outro was a little rough. I feel like I've rambled a lot. I always ramble in the outros. I don't like endings.
Worst case, we can just cut it.
I'm not going to. I didn't go back and cut the other live stream episode I said I was going to.
So it still has your crash out in the beginning. I'm kind of glad it is because that was funny. It wasn't funny for you, and it wasn't. It was kind of. I felt bad for you, but it was also like
as a whole, I wasn't too frustrated.
It was just
there was some genuine frustration there, but part of me was also playing it up a little bit for the bit, but also a lot of the times I didn't realize I was on camera. And then I didn't do anything on camera, but I was also like, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing on camera. Mm-hmm. I probably picked my nose and I wasn't paying it, like, I probably did. I don't know. Because when you're that frustrated, I'm like, I don't care about bodily hygiene.
That's a fair
Being
take.
very genuine right now.
Yes.
No. I was in a really bad mood last week, so I won't. I hope people like that episode that we recorded.
Yeah, I mean,
I
it'll be
I
fine.
I came out of it not in a good mood,
No,
but
oh, I'm sorry.
not because of you. Just
No, I just feel bad.
I was in a very rough mental state last week.
Yeah.
This week I've been in a much better one, which I think reflects in the episode. No, even though now I feel like I shut down another one of your ideas retroactively, but I think it's more we just didn't do it.
It, it'll happen.
I don't know. What's this? This one was your. No, this was my idea. Gosh, we're gonna do one of your ideas eventually. I feel bad. I feel like we.
The morality spin was kind of me.
That was fun. Well, okay, you did the spin. It was my idea initially, but you did do the spin. And I'm glad you kept pushing for it because I didn't want to do it. I won't lie in my head. I was like, I don't want to do this.
Because I like it when we take like a topic everyone's talked about. Like people have talked about their favorite shows before, but then we do a new thing. Like, oh, let's judge the morality of these characters.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. I think that stuff's more interesting.
Yeah. No, I think it gave it a good spin. I'm just when I'm not prepared for something, I'm like my flag's like, nope, course correct. But no, I'm glad you pushed me out of that comfort zone. I like it. All right, we'll go wrap up here. Like I said, stay tuned for next week with the episode without a topic.
We apologize in advance.
Yep, it was just barely an hour long. It was like an hour and 20 seconds long. I ended that as soon as I could because we did not have I didn't have anything last week. I really had to push myself to get through that.
I don't think it was that bad.
I don't think it probably was as bad as I feel like, but me, I don't
It's just very disjointed, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, I don't want to say I had a bad time in the episode, but like the whole time mentally, I was not in a good mood, and I was forcing myself to like have a good time, which I hate to say because I generally do. Like today, I've had a lot of fun recording this episode, but no. So I look back at that less. I don't think of the product. I just think of how I felt making it, which goes by what we talked about with nihilism.